What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another vlog, back again in Jersey, and this time I'm gonna cover Union City. I cover cities around like West New York, the Heights, and Jersey City, but this time I'm gonna do Union City, which is highly populated with Hispanic community. And it's a city that's roughly a little over a square mile, like 1 mile, 0.29, but it has 68,000 people living here, making it one of the cities, if not the most densely populated city in the United States. So I'm gonna explore the city, see what it has to offer me, so join me. First thing is first, I'm gonna explore the main street here in Union City, which goes all the way to North Bergen, which is Bergenline. And as you walk around here, you're gonna see a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants, a lot of people walking around, but today it's not too packed, but it's really cool. The other time I went to the other side, I explored West New York. This time I'm covering Union City. Here you got like an empanada spot. One thing about here is that the streets are pretty tight. I know I drove here years ago, but this is like the first time I cover it by foot. But so far I like it, you know. Like it's small, but it's like a city vibe at the same time, and it's not too jam-packed like any neighborhood in New York City. And then it's pretty helpful if you speak Spanish to live around here, but it's good to explore. Maybe later at 5 o'clock, or maybe when kids get off of school, you're gonna see more activity over here. But lately, a lot of neighborhoods I've been covering in Jersey, you don't see that crowd. I know one time I drove in the summertime and it was a lot of traffic and jam-packed. But yeah, it's a nice vibe over here, you know. And it's like if you enter another world, like mainly Hispanic people, you know. But I love it so far, you know. I love it so far, and you can get everything. So I'm gonna walk forward and see if I can find like street vendors and see what else happens here. Then you got like a dollar store, market with fresh fruits. Over here you got a place where they sell clothes. Also, there's a heavy Cuban population over here. Like I say, a bit of everything, you know, all kinds of Hispanic people. So I was gonna keep walking forward the 40th Street all the way to, I think Union City ends like in 4th Street if I'm not mistaken. So I'll probably make it over there until I border Jersey City. So I got a little bit of a long walk ahead of me, and then Mi Bella Colombia, Colombian restaurant right here. But yeah, so far I like what I see. So everywhere I go, Payless shoe stores used to be back in the days, but a lot of places I go, it's not here anymore. So I walk around here across the street and I see one for $10. Maybe it's an Hispanic thing, I'm not sure, but I'm surprised to still see one going strong over here. So far, nice town. I look at the map, I still got a long way to go, but I'm making a little detour over here to show you another side. I'm gonna walk to JFK Boulevard, which goes all the way to Bayonne and the other side. And when I get to JFK Boulevard, and the other side is another town which is called North Bergen. So that is one thing that's pretty interesting when you go in different towns in Jersey, is that you could be in one town, then you could be in another block, and that's another town. So that's something that's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna walk a block down, I'll show you that I'm in another town. Meanwhile, while I walk here, they got some nice looking houses over here. Looks like it has a nice architecture, pretty interesting, you know, nothing special. Then residential like this. This is 41st Street, so it's gonna be a little bit wider, but the other streets I was looking at are like super tight, so if you're really good at driving, then you can manage it to get through. But I think it's really hard to have a car in a city like this, because it's so, like I say, it's really densely populated and really tight, so yeah. But the commute here to the city or anywhere is pretty good. Like they got some little buses. I think for a couple of dollars you can make it to New York City, like vans and stuff. And also they got the New Jersey Transit and the light rail that takes you to Jersey City, and then you can transfer to the PATH train and make it to the city. But yeah, we're only like a couple of minutes away from Manhattan. And then this over here is JFK Boulevard, where you see that building that's actually North Bergen. This left side over here where I'm walking is Union City, but that's North Bergen right there on the other side. So it's literally divided by this street. Like I say, this is a main street that goes all the way deep down to Bayonne, which I did a video over there a week ago, if you guys want to check it out. So I'm probably gonna walk maybe 2 more blocks here, then make it back to Bergenline. And I'm gonna walk on top of one of the main avenues that takes you to the Lincoln Tunnel, which is 495. It's the first time I'm walking on top of it, but it's gonna be pretty interesting to take a look at it. And this over here is what I'm talking about, like a regular street. Look how tight it is. They still develop it pretty nice with the parking and all of that, but this car can barely fit. Now I'm just making it in the sidewalk. Whoa. And it's funny because they got the speed bump so that way people don't go fast, because that shows you how tight the street is. And just show you, yeah, it's how the street looks like in this area, in Hudson County. So I gotta say, walking streets like this and looking at all the business, it kind of makes me feel a little bit like if I'm back home, you know, especially when you see all the signs and stuff written in Spanish to people and everything. And I like it, you know, I love it so far. And it's crazy that I haven't explored this city, because it's not even far from where I live. It's just a different vibe, you know. But I heard a lot of good things about it. A lot of history too, and a lot has changed. But yeah, it's crazy that this city that is 1.29 square miles has almost 70,000 people living around here. But I don't see the crowd here. I only see a couple of people, but yeah. And by the way, look at this. That white van, those are one of the vans I'm talking about. They can get you around here or even to the city for a couple of dollars, and they pass pretty often, so that's really cool. Now, as I walk ahead, I'm approaching the overpass, like I say, of the highway, one of the busy highways. It's gonna be pretty interesting to see what it looks like on top of it, because I drove by it under it many times. So this is where it does like a little bit of emerging. And they got some nice looking buildings right here. Historic, you know, in Hudson County. And then just like any neighborhood in New York City and North Jersey, you will see people selling fresh fruits. Which I think is really cool. This must be like a selling area. There's a lot of people here waiting. I guess you can take the little minivans around here. So then they even got like a parking spot. Like I say, parking is an issue. It's really hard over here. And then this is the overpass. It's right here. They set it up pretty nice with chairs and stuff so people can sit there and chill. But let me walk over here and show you. This is actually $4.95 right there. So always busy, a lot of traffic jam and stuff. So, and like I say, years ago in my older job, our job had like a summer party by the ferry in Hoboken, and we drove over here, and that's when I discovered this city. I'm like, I gotta come someday and explore. So now I gotta say, like, literally over 10 years later, I'm here, but at least I'm here, you know, and it's pretty nice. Then I crossed the other side. I'm not sure if you can see it, but over there, sorry if it's shaking, where you see the buildings over there, that's actually New York City. So like I say, this takes you all the way to the Lincoln Tunnel, underground, you end up in the city, so. But what I don't like is the traffic. Also, as I'm walking around here, I gotta say, I see so many types of restaurants of different Spanish cuisine, so you don't even gotta Google, you just walk around and you probably bump into something that you like. A lot of bakeries, a lot of coffee shops, supermarkets, a little bit of everything. So yeah, I think this neighborhood or this city is like super convenient. Walking distance from everything, and you find a little bit of everything. So like I said, you really don't need a car over here. You just get around, walk a little bit and explore. So I actually made a detour through New York Avenue, and I'm gonna walk all the way to Palisades Avenue, because that's gonna be another borderline, and the other side of Palisades Avenue is gonna be Weehawken. And I remember when I blocked Weehawken, I walked to the borderline of Union City. Now I'm in the other side, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like from this side. So far the street looks pretty nice, you know, pretty residential, pretty developed. I'll show you. Like the way how they got the sidewalks all pretty, all clean. And then the houses and apartments, I gotta say, they keep the city pretty impeccable. And even here, they got some beautiful architecture. Like it gives you that vibe, like if you're in Hoboken or Jersey City. And there's a park over here. Doesn't look like it's big, but it looks like it's pretty beautiful. So maybe I'm just gonna cruise around the park. And then on the other side is Palisades Avenue or street, so we're gonna see. I gotta say, this is a small park, but it's really beautiful, and they maintain it pretty clean. You know, not too many people around here, but like I say, really beautiful, so clean. They got the rules and everything. There's a playground for the kids. And I like how they have so many flowers around here. well, it's almost spring season, but in a couple of weeks it's gonna be summertime. But yeah, they decorated pretty nice over here with the flowers. It's like a little garden that you're walking around. Perfect place for you to sit, or if you grab a bite, you can just chill here. And I'm impressed, you know, how they, like I said, it's a really tiny park, but look, probably one of the most beautiful tiny parks I've seen, with all the flowers and the plants. And this is Palisades Avenue, and I'm in the border with Union City on this side, Weehawken's on the other side. Another town, but I can tell the difference. Like you can see the houses, look how beautiful they keep the houses. That's Weehawken right there. And Weehawken is a little bit more on the pricier side. And then when you walk through the streets over there, if you can capture, you can see the streets are covered with trees and everything, with a lot of nature. Versus this one, it's just like open over here, but still a beautiful town. But yeah, like the division of Weehawken over here in Union City, but I still love how they keep the streets really nice and clean. Like it makes me feel like I'm in another state, and it makes me proud of the state of New Jersey. And then they got the street pretty nice too, with the bike lanes divided so you can bring your bike and bike around. But I'm gonna walk forward a couple of more blocks, and then I'm gonna make it to another street, another main street in Union City, which is Summit Avenue, which it borders with the Jersey City Heights. And I'll probably walk all the way there, go to the borderline of Jersey City, and wrap out the video over there. But even over here, this side of Union City has some nice looking houses. Looks like a church or a lighthouse. And they keep the garden pretty beautiful. They maintain the plants, the trees. So maybe I'll do one more block, and then I'm gonna make it right. So I saw a little bit of the Palisades Avenue, and now I just made another detour over here. I'm gonna walk it all the way to Summit Avenue and see what's happening over there, because I know there's a lot of restaurants over there too and shops. But the weather's just perfect today, not hot, not humid, so it makes it possible for me to do a nice walking tour around this neighborhood. And so far, when you go in the streets, it's just residential, pretty quiet, you know, even if it's one of the most populated density cities in the United States, you go to the streets and you can still find quietness and stuff, nothing hectic or anything, nor overwhelmed. And that's one of the beauties about North New Jersey. Like, you can have it all, you know. And it probably offers a little bit more affordable rate than New York City, but it's still a little high because we're right across the city, but it's like a different vibe over here. And just like any neighborhood in North Jersey and New York City, you're gonna see new development, like a building like this, Union Gardens, and they even got their own parking. And that's pretty convenient because you know it's hard to find a parking around here. And you can hear the birds too. That's when you know when the weather is nice. So I'm still walking over here, and you can see all the quietness. And I gotta say, I'm really impressed with Union City. It's just a beautiful city over here. I think there's a cat over here, but not sure if it's gonna be still. What's up, cat? You good? Of course he ran away. No, I'm not gonna hurt you. But yeah, it's a nice cat. But yeah, like I say, I walk here and I haven't seen none garbage. No matter what street I go, no garbage in the street. You know, everything is clean. They keep the houses nice and neat over here. So this city deserves like more attention. Then they got some nice looking houses over here. And I gotta say, this is like an ASMR vibe, like how quiet the streets are. And this street ahead of me is Central Avenue, which it goes all the way to Jersey City, specifically the Heights section. And if you go into Jersey City side, you're gonna see a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants. So look how beautiful it is. Clean, impeccable. They even got like a center that divides the sides of the road, so I think it makes it really beautiful. Then after walking a couple of blocks, I'm finally making it to Summit Avenue, and I'm gonna see what it looks like over here. So this is the road right here. I'm gonna make my left and see what can I find right now. So just like any other street that I've been walking around the city, is pretty impeccable. Wow, gotta tell you, it's really impressed how they have the streets here. This side is quieter than Bergenline, close to the light rail. But it's still pretty nice, you know, not much happening over here. But maybe if I go a few more blocks ahead, maybe I'll find something interesting. There's business over here, some of them are open, others are closed. But I like the fact how they keep the sidewalks impeccable, and they have like trees that beautify the neighborhood. And then like any neighborhood up here, you're gonna see stores like this, where you can send payments, kind of like a Western Union style. You send payments to your country, you can get phones, everything, you know, like SIM card and all that, so it's pretty convenient. So this side has a lot of restaurants, a lot of barbershops and bakery. I spotted one bakery that I wanted to check it out, show you what's going on over here. But there was like a long line. It was actually a Cuban bakery, and I'm sure they got some good stuff and good coffee. Look how they set up the food here. So you can never go hungry. And I gotta say, I really don't feel like I'm in the States. I feel like I'm in Latin America, but I love it, And that's the beauty about exploring the Northeast. You go different neighborhoods, and it makes it feel like if you're somewhere else. And then ahead of me, I see some interesting things I'm gonna show you. And then one thing I like to see in the neighborhood is the groceries. And here you see one, I can smell really the fresh fruits. It smells pretty good. Especially the pineapples. Lovely. So another thing that's pretty interesting is another border. This side I'm walking is Union City, but then in the other side is Jersey City, especially Jersey City Heights, which I made a blog over there a couple of months ago, and it did pretty well, if you guys want to check it out. But I'm gonna walk to the park, which is, there's a park that takes both cities. It takes Union City and Jersey City, which I made a video over there when I did the Jersey City Heights. I ended up there, but in the Jersey side. And this time I think I'm gonna end it in Union City side, so it's gonna be interesting. It's been pretty real here, lovely city, and you guys should check it out. So this over here is Washington Park, which is a park that takes two cities. This is the Union City side over here, really beautiful, you know, people playing. And that's Jersey City right there, which when I did the Heights video, I ended my blog right there. Actually, no, I didn't end it right there. I walked all the way to another street, and I ended up in another park with a view of Manhattan and Hoboken. But yeah, it's crazy how a park takes over two cities, but I think it's pretty interesting. But yeah, Hudson County is also one of my favorite counties around here. Right across the city, and definitely worth a visit. So they decorated beautiful with flowers, trees. So it's been a lovely walk around Union City in New Jersey. So I think I'm gonna wrap up the video over here. That was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.